Hello geeks and gamers, it's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about the thing the original trilogy elitists love to talk about, the Star Wars prequels. Now, when they talk about it, they're not talking positively. They're talking about how it ruined their childhood and how George Lucas is the worst person of all time, even though he created the thing they love. Whatever, you people are nuts. This video is not for you. So go ahead, hit the downvote, move on with your life. I want to talk to people that love the prequels because the prequel era is so rich with amazing world building, amazing storytelling, amazing characters. Now, I'm not saying that the prequels are perfect. I will acknowledge their problems. We all know Jar Jar's terrible. Spoiler alert. We all know Hayden Christensen in episode 2 is pretty painful to watch, and that's being nice. We all know that Jake Lloyd was a little cringeworthy at times. I mean, we get it. It's not a big deal. But there's a bigger picture here, and that's the world building involved with the prequels and how much it expands the universe. And one thing I love right now, I as a Star Wars fan feel that, and this was prior to The Last Jedi even, the prequel movement, the prequel fans are becoming so vocal now, and they're starting to really let their voice be heard, because for so many years these original trilogy elitists, and again, I grew up on the original trilogy, so I mean, I love the original trilogy. It's amazing. So but these elitists in the original trilogy, for so long they just were the loud vocal minority, and now we see the prequel fans are stepping up, they're being heard, and you're finally understanding that the prequels, much like the original trilogy for a younger generation at the time, the prequels ushered in so many new Star Wars fans, and it's such a beautiful thing. The prequel era gets expanded and enhanced by the Clone Wars. That can't be overlooked. Now, I've always said that a movie should not need outside media to make it better, and I stand by that claim. So I'm not saying that the prequels are great because they have the Clone Wars that improves them. But I am saying that my appreciation for the prequels and the prequel era grew significantly when I watched the Clone Wars television series. The development of Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship in the Clone Wars, it is so impactful. So when you watch episode 3, so basically the Clone Wars happens in between episode 2 and episode 3. So if you watch episode 2, then if you watch the Clone Wars series, then you go into episode 3, the emotional weight of Anakin's fall to become Vader and ultimately how Obi-Wan reacts to it is powerful, to say the least. And that film is great on its own, but when you add the Clone Wars dynamic to it, the Revenge of the Sith just goes to another level. It is fantastic. So, alright, so my least favorite prequel movie is Attack of the Clones. And I do think Attack of the Clones is actually a really good movie. I don't think it's great, but I think it could be good. The problem is Anakin is so bad in that movie. I love you, Hayden Christensen. I was at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. It was amazing that he showed up, and it was amazing the reception he got from the Star Wars community. No hate, but like, he's really bad in episode 2, and I cannot overlook that. And because he's so bad, it really hurts the film, and it just really, it takes it down a notch. I mean, that was supposed to be our first real glimpse as to Vader before he became Vader, and it just didn't work. But the ideas involved with the Clone Wars, with going to Kamino and learning more about the clones and everything like that, I just really love the ideas in episode 2. And I don't hate the movie, but I acknowledge that it's not great. It's maybe not even good, all things considered, but I think the ideas involved are good. Episode 1, it has some boring moments. Obviously, midichlorians, we get it. It's terrible. And episode 1 has some boring moments, but I really love certain aspects of it, like Naboo. I think Naboo is a wonderful planet. I love, obviously, we get Darth Maul. Yes, he's short-lived, but he's badass, and he's Darth Maul. And the moments we get with Darth Maul are amazing. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan played fantastically by Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor. There's a lot to love in The Phantom Menace. Again, there are some boring parts, and Jar Jar's terrible, but even the politics are interesting. Drags out a little too much, but we get introduced to so many new characters and things like that in The Phantom Menace. It's a solid film. all things considered. Then Revenge of the Sith is amazing in any way, shape, or form you want to look at it. Revenge of the Sith I will defend as a great Star Wars film. Like I said, there's really only one way to look at this, and just to say, hey, Jeremy, you're right and I'm wrong, and I'll accept that, because Revenge of the Sith is awesome, and you just need to deal with that. And then the bigger thing here, like I said, is the Clone Wars has enhanced my appreciation for the prequel era so much. The world building, all the creatures that we get introduced to, all the new characters we get introduced to, how much it expands the universe and how much it gives it such a bigger, better scope. I love it. The battle droids, the Roger, those they are so Star Wars to me. Battle droids, and it's just so Star Wars to me. So many amazing characters. General Grievous actually is really good in the Clone Wars. Obviously, Ahsoka Tano, I've spoke about her before. Ahsoka's becoming one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time. Obviously, she's introduced in the prequels. The prequel era is so rich with so much possibility, and there's so much to appreciate at this point. Now, I'm not saying the prequel films are my favorite Star Wars films, because they're not, but the prequel era has become my favorite era in Star Wars. And I think if people are willing to really kind of take a step back, go revisit that world and look at it from the bigger picture, I really think you can enjoy the prequels as they are. We know George Lucas is not really a great director, and there are directing missteps in the prequels. But as an idea man, he is second to none, and the ideas in the prequels are wonderful. I am not arguing they're great films from start to finish. I'm arguing that there are great concepts and ideas within these films. And again, if you are a Star Wars fan and you really do want to try to enhance that experience, watch the Clone Wars. Watch it. And I promise you, even if you hate the prequels, I think you can at least appreciate the ideas and the era in the prequels after you watch the Clone Wars. So, that's all I'm going to say for today. I'm probably going to get destroyed by a lot of prequel haters, but the prequel lovers are coming. That generation is becoming vocal, and they're standing up for their love for the prequels, and that's what I like to hear. So keep letting people know how much you love the prequels, because there is so much to love about the prequels. Check out geeksandgamers.com if you haven't. We have a lot of amazing articles and content. Check out Geek Pulse Radio. Our latest episode of Geek Pulse Radio will be uploaded today or tomorrow, and we have a full-fledged discussion about The Last Jedi and Star Wars in general, and are they pushing too hard with this female agenda. And we have some of our female staff members from geeksandgamers.com on the show, and it turned out to be a really great time. So hope you all enjoy it. Everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you later.